Hello, my name's Xavier. I'm talking about the 20 topics from U.S. history to 1877 that I've learned this semester. Let's start off with the Carolina colonies. Um, the Carolina colonies were once originally founded as one colony, so it wasn't South and North Carolina. Um, King Charles II sent eight proprietors to the Carolinas to colonize them. Yeah, and in the 1680s, there was a harbor there, which made it very enticing for new colonists to be there. Its main source of income was cash crops. It was very labor intensive. So, and with the harbor being there, it was very easy for the slave trade to take place there. Um, let's see, middle colonies. The middle colonies were consist of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Delaware. It was important for the colonies because that's where the merchants could buy and sell goods. Let me see. The ground wasn't as rocky as the northern colonies were, so they could farm and harvest crops. So their main crops were wheat and corn. And they even started to build flour mills to send bread back to England. They also used rivers to export their goods throughout the colonies. Georgia colony is the last one to join, originally founded by Oglethorpe. It was meant for debtors to relieve their debt um, and pay off their debts with farming. Um, it was pitched as a luxury crop colony and was meant to produce silk. But after many failed attempts, and they didn't have a successful harvest. They switched to cash crops, and originally Georgia was going to be useful since it was a buffer between um, Florida and the colonies. Um, okay. Um, the Stamp Act of 1765. This was an act on paper goods that the British enacted for the colonists to pay. Colonists, long story short, did not agree with it. They didn't like it. They thought that it wasn't fair. That's where the phrase "no taxation without representation" came from. Um, it was just another way for Britain to make money off the colonies. The colonists started boycotting British goods and burning stamps. And then after many protests and boycotts, the Stamp Act was repealed. The Tea Act, the colonists opposed the Tea Act, just like the Stamp Act. It was just Britain trying to control them even more. Um, the Tea Act wasn't a new act. It just brought back an old one from the Townshend Acts. Um, Tea Acts, the tea was technically cheaper, but it's still the colonists still didn't believe that it was right for them to be taxed when they weren't getting represented here. So they quickly boycotted it, and it turned into the Boston Tea Party. So the Boston Tea Party was the result of the Tea Act. Basically, all the colonists kind of got together and dumped hundreds of pounds, if not thousands of pounds of tea into the harbor um, to basically say that they didn't want to be controlled by Britain anymore. The main point really was about the tea, but it was about fairness, standing up for what they believed in.